Go grab a paper and pencil if you haven't done so yet, because those are the three things you need to do first. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what are we doing today? I am going to teach you something brand new. Brand new. I don't think you have ever learned this in your entire life. Like, this is legit eighth grade math, what we're starting today. Nothing like, oh, I kind of learned about it last year. No, brand new. Okay. So after I teach it to you, you are going to watch this video. Right here's the link. Okay. The video is of your wonderful teacher, Miss Friesenhahn, teaching it. And it is 9 minutes and 32 seconds long, guys. You can do this. I believe in you. Go watch the video, okay? Right here, it says you do not need to submit your notes on Schoology. So ladies and gentlemen, where are you putting all these notes if you're not submitting it? Well, you need to have your notes as a collection to look back on, okay? Because 3 months from now, when I'm like, hey, do the thing that we were doing on September 16th, you might not remember. Like, you might honestly have forgotten the whole thing. So then I'll say, okay, let's take out those notes and look at it really quick. And you might be like, oh, I remember now. And it'll come back to you. But if you're like, oh, I don't have my notes, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you then. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you. Then I'll have to start from step one. And you will never remember because I'm like taking forever to explain it to you. Okay. So if you're taking notes on Cami, I would probably make like a drive folder in your G drive. Just label it math and stick all of your Cami notes in there. If you are doing it on paper or printing it out, then in your school supply list, you should have gotten a 3-ring binder. That was meant for math. So please put your math only papers in that school or in that binder. If you don't have a binder, just use a folder, like literally any folder will do, okay? I mean, I have a yellow one. Great. You can have purple, pink, whatever you want, okay? So anyways, and then here's a copy of the notes if you do want to print them out. So you're watching a video, that's all you're doing, okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's 2 things I want to tell you. First thing is, yesterday we had a 5-question Schoology quiz to do, and lots of you did not do it. So it is now essentially a 0 in the grade book if you forgot to do it, but you can still get a maximum of a 70 if you turn it in late. So honestly, don't be like, oh, I forgot. Okay, fine, I'll just take the 0. Don't say that, because you can still get 70 points, right? Which is better than 0 points. You don't want those zeros to add up. So just get it done. It was under yesterday's folder. Please, please, please get it done. Okay. Because there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people that did not get it done. If you got a failing grade and you want to retake like another attempt, then email me or hang back after class and I'll give you another attempt, okay? But you only get 1 attempt on these questions because it's only 5 questions. And but if you fail it, then yes, of course you can redo it for up to a 90, right? When you redo stuff, you get up to a 90 on it, okay? Not up to 100. All right. The final thing I want to tell you guys is we are starting. In fact, I'm going to look into this camera so you can see me. Okay. We are starting 8th grade math today. I know you. I know some of you have been like, oh, I'll show up to class. I'll kind of listen. I'm not going to watch those videos because Mrs. Friesenhahn is not asking me to turn it in today. And I'm just going to go play on my computer or go talk to my friends or be on my phone. And here's the thing, you might have been able to do that and get by. And the reason why is because almost everything that we've talked about this year has been a review, okay? Today is the day where we are starting brand new things. If you do not focus, especially this week, because I can't see you, I can't help you in person, right? If you don't focus in class, as in during these 20 minutes, and if you don't do the work outside of class, those 30 minutes, then I'm really, really afraid that you're not going to get anything out of this year. And if you don't get anything out of this year, A, you're going to fail, or B, even if you do manage to pass, you're going to die next year in algebra, because everything we're talking about from this point moving forward, you need to know next year. And next year, your teachers aren't going to teach it to you again. They're going to say, oh, you learned it last year, so let's move forward and let's do something harder. But you don't even know how to do the easy stuff because you didn't really focus this year. Okay, so I know online school can be very distracting. It can be very hard, and I get it. But I really need you guys to buckle down. And even next week, when I see some of you or when you stay online, whatever your situation is, we will help you, but we need you guys to put in some effort too. I'm not just talking to this class. I'm literally going to say the same thing to every single class. Okay, but starting today, this is when it becomes new and this is when it becomes hard. If you just blow it off and not try, I'm really, really worried that you're going to be at the point of no return. Mr. Tucker and I want to be here to help you, but we can't help you if you're not going to put in any effort. Okay, we can't do it for you. I'm so sorry. Okay, basically, Jamin was saying how I'm looking at the other computer, but she can't hear me because I didn't mute or I muted that computer. Please try. Okay, that's basically what I'm saying. It's hard and it's getting real. If you don't try from this point moving forward, you're going to have a really, really tough time. And I can't guarantee that you'll pass math. That's what I'm saying. I just need to be real with you for a minute. Okay. All right. All of you should have pencil and paper. So please, let's just practice a couple of problems. Okay. After we practice a few problems, then we can go ahead and you can watch your, I don't remember how many minutes it was anymore, 9 minutes, something like that, your 9-minute video. Okay, here we go. Please write this problem down. 4x plus 1 equals 5x minus 2. All of you should be writing this down right now, okay? 4x plus 1 equals 5x minus 2. This is brand new math. And if you don't pay attention, if you don't focus, it's going to be hard. I'll tell you that right now. We're going to do this for like 3 days. So if you don't get it today, that's okay. But I need you to speak up and ask for help if you don't get this in a couple of days. So it starts today. Every day you need to try, okay? All right, so I want to solve for x. Do you see how this problem is different? This problem is different because now I have x's on both sides. So here's the thing. I can't solve for x if I have x's on both sides. So what I need to do is get all my x's on the same side. And the rule is you are always going to move your smaller x. So I have a 4x and I have a 5x. Move the smaller number because then I won't have to deal with negatives. So which one is smaller, 4x or 5x? 4x. Thank you, Sydney. 4 is smaller than 5, so that's the one I'm dropping down. So I'm going to drop down the 4x on both sides. Now, I want it gone. I want it completely gone from this side. So do you think I add 4x plus 4x, does that equal 0? Or 4x minus 4x equals 0? Or 4x times 4x equals 0? Or 4x divided by 4x equals 0? Okay, so divide. If I divide, what is 4 divided by 4? 4 divided by 4 is 1. I don't want 1. I want nothing, right? I want nothing left on this side. So it's minus, subtract, right? I have to subtract. Everyone every year always says divide. I don't know why. They always want to divide every year. It's the most common mistake in math. So just remember, if you're moving the number and the letter together, you're subtracting it out because 4x minus 4x is 0. 4 minus 4 is 0. So let's drop down what we have. That cancels out. So on this side, I still have a plus 1. Well, plus 1 is positive 1. So that's just 1. And then I have my equals. Okay, now let's subtract 5x minus 4x. First of all, when I dropped my 4x's down, did you see how I dropped down the x underneath the x? Right, I have to combine things that look the same. These two look the same, so I can combine them. I can't combine those two because these two don't look the same. There's no x here and there's an x here. So what's 5x minus 4x? Like 5 minus 4. 1. Good. 1 or 1x. So 1x, because 5x minus 4x is 1x. And then I still have the minus 2 off to the side. Okay, that's the new thing about today. And then after that, it's just a two-step equation, right? Here's my new problem. What number do I drop down first? This is yesterday. Hopefully you know this. What number is farther away from x? What number is the adding and subtracting one? The 2. Good. So I have to move the 2 now. So I'm going to move the 2. What do I do, guys? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. Add, look at the symbol before and do the opposite. Opposite of minus is plus. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. And now just drop everything down. So I have 1 plus 2 is 3. I have my equal sign. 1x, guys, is just the same thing as just saying x. So I really don't need to write 1x. And then that's my problem. I just solve for x. That is as easy as it gets. And I know it wasn't even that easy. Okay, but this is the easiest type of problem that we'll be doing today. We're only going to get harder from this point, but we'll practice more so you don't have to worry. Now, how can I double check my answer to see that I did it okay? Let me grab my handy dandy calculator. We said x equals 3, so let's plug it in. 4 times x, which is 3, plus 1. What does that equal? 13. So this side equals 13. Let's do this side now. 5 times x, which we said was 3, minus 2. Oh, that equals 13. You see how they're the same number? So if I have the same number here and the same number here, then yay, I did it right. I must have gotten the right answer. Okay. So let's try another one. Okay. Please write this problem down. 5x minus 2 equals 3x plus 4. So 5x minus 2 equals 3x plus 4. So first thing I do is I draw my line down the equal sign. Okay, so let's look at our problem. Eek! I have x's on both sides. If I have x's on both sides, I need to move them all to one side. So the rule is you move your smaller x. So which one is smaller, 5x or 3x? Good job, guys. 3x, right? 3 is smaller than 5. So you drop down the 3x on both sides. Notice how when I drop them down, I'm putting the x's underneath the x's. I'm putting the 3x here underneath the 5x because these two things can combine. These two things can't combine. They don't even have the same ending. So put them, like line them up, okay? If you say organize and you line it up, you should be okay. Okay, don't say divide. Don't say divide. How do I move this 3x? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide? I want it 0. I want it gone.
Jamie says subtract.
Good. Don't divide. 3 divided by 3 is 1. I don't want 1. I want 0. I want it gone. 3 minus 3 is 0. So I'm minusing 3x on both sides. So that cancels out. So let's drop everything down and see what we have left over. 5x minus 3x. That's just like 5 minus 3. So that's 2x. And I still have the minus 2 equals, and then I just have a plus 4. Well, plus 4 is just positive 4. So it's just 4. So here's my new problem. Well, now this is just a yesterday problem, right? I've done that before. Two-step equation. So what's the first thing I do, guys, at this point? Drop the 2 down. Good job, Sydney. So I'm going to drop this 2 down because it's farther away from the x. Add, subtract, multiply, divide.
Add.
Add. Thank you, because it's a minus 2. Opposite of minus 2 is a plus 2. So now let's drop everything down. I have the 2x. That disappeared. I have my equals. 4 plus 2 is 6. Oh, I'm not done yet. I still have something to do. Any takers? You divide by 2 on both sides. Good job, Sydney. So you still have to move the 2, right? Because you want to get x by itself. Well, this is 2 times x. Opposite of times is divide. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So I have x left over. I have equals. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Oh, 3 again. Whoa. Okay. You're not always going to have 3 as the answer. I think that was just a happy coincidence. Sorry. You have 3 again. Okay. So let's double check our answer, okay? Because we said the answer was 3. So let me plug it in here. So 5x, 5 times 3 minus 2. Oh my gosh, I got 13 again. Okay. This is really just a happy coincidence. Okay, it's not always going to equal 13. This one, 3 times 3 plus 4, I got 13. So since they're both the same number when I plugged in x, and I know I got it right. Okay, let's try another. If you don't quite understand this is okay. Okay, but you can't just sit there and dwell and be like, oh well, I don't get it. Oh well. Like, please speak up so we can help you. Okay, I know this is hard, but if you did 1 plus 1 for the rest of your life, how boring would your life be, right? Okay, let's try another one. Okay, we're gonna just try 2 more and that's it, okay? Let me give you another easy-ish one because there's only positives in here, and then I'll give you a challenging one because there's negatives in there. Okay, please write this down. 3x plus 5 equals 5x plus 1. All right, we had answers of x equals 3, x equals 3. I really hope this answer is not x equals 3. Maybe we should place bets. I don't know why your answer is going to be anything. 2.5, 1/2, -10. Your answer literally could be anything. I don't know why it's always been x equals 3. Okay, so let's draw our line going down. Oh, look, I have x's on both sides. Does anyone remember which one do I drop down first? The smaller one. Good job. Thank you for remembering. You always want to drop down the smaller one. Now, here's the thing, guys. If you accidentally drop down the bigger one, you're not going to get the wrong answer. You can still get the right answer, but then you're going to have negatives in your problem. And you know we always mess up with negatives. Negatives always screw me up. So if you get in the habit of dropping down the smaller x, you really shouldn't have too many negatives in your answer. Okay, so I'm dropping down 3x because 3 is smaller than 5x. Look at how I'm lining it up. The x's are underneath the x's. Okay, don't say divide, don't say divide, don't say divide, don't say divide. How do I move the 3x?
The chat says subtract.
Thank you, because 3 minus 3 is 0, right? If I were to divide, 3 divided by 3 is 1. I don't want 1, I want 0. I want it gone. So I'm going to minus 3x on both sides. So let's write what we have left over. Plus 5, well, plus 5 is just positive 5. So that's just 5. Equals 5x minus 3x is 2x because 5 minus 3 is 2. And then I have the plus 1. Okay, this is a yesterday problem. What number do I drop down now?
Jameis says 1.
Good job. I dropped on the 1. Okay, what do I do with the 1? Add, subtract, multiply, divide.
Subtract.
Good, because it's plus 1. Opposite of plus 1 is minus 1. So 5 minus 1 is 4. I have equals, and then the 2x drops down. Still not done yet. What do I do now? Divide.
Divide.
By what number? Divide by
2.
2. Divide by 2. Okay, so drop everything down. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Equals x. Oh, finally, a number that's not the answer of 3. So x equals 2. Okay, now let's just quickly double check it to know that I did it right. So 3 times x, 3 times 2 plus 5, that gives me 11 is on this side. So this side should also equal 11. 5 times 2 plus 1, oh, 11. So since I got the same numbers on both sides, I got it right. Okay, I don't want to scare you off because I know some of you are already slightly confused, but I do want to try a challenging one with a negative in there. Okay, all right. Please write this problem down. 7 minus 8x equals 4x minus 17. It's just more challenging because now you have negatives, right? Minuses and negatives are basically the same thing. So this is the last problem we're going to do today, and then you're off. Draw your line. Ah, no, I I have x's on both sides, I need to drop down the smaller one. That's the rule. Always drop down your smaller one. So, trick question, guys. Which one is the smaller one here? Sydney? Good job. -8. Thank you for seeing that this is a -8. This is not an 8. This is a -8. -8 is the same thing as saying -8. So do you see how -8 is smaller than +4? Now, guys, again, if you drop down the 4 on both sides and you made a mistake, that's okay. You'll still get the same answer, but then you'll have to deal with even more negatives. So 8x, 8x. That is the smaller one because -8 is the same thing as saying -8. Okay. Now, how do I move the 8x? Don't say divide, don't say divide, don't say divide, don't say divide. You want a 0. And it's already a -8.
Divide. No, I just said that.
Mr. Tucker, you are no longer allowed in our class.
No, Jamin says add.
Good, because it's -8. What's opposite of a -8 or -8? +8, +8. So you're adding 8 to both sides. Okay, so cancel that out because -8 plus 8 is just 0. So let's just drop down what you have left over. You see a 7. That canceled out. You see an equals. 4 plus 8 is 12. So that's 12x. Just don't forget the x. And then you still have the -17. Okay, now we have a yesterday problem. Woo! So what number do I drop down now? Good
Okay,
job.
the chatters say 17.
Okay, 17. Because it's the number farthest away from the x. Okay, how do I move to 17? Add, subtract, multiply, divide.
Add.
Good, -17. Opposite of -17 is +17. So I'm going to add 17 to both sides. So 7 plus 17, use your calculator. I don't care. That's why you have a calculator this year. Is 24. Then equals 12x, you have 12x. Okay, last step, and then we are done. What do we do now?
Divide by 12.
Yay! Because it's 12 times x. Opposite of times is divide, so you divide by 12. So just drop everything down. 24 divided by 12 is 2. Oh, 2 again, I swear. I'm really not like trying to make the same answers over and over. So 2 equals x, x equals 2. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, before you leave, there are actually a couple people that I want to hold to stay. But before any of you leave, first thing you need to do is go on Schoology, watch the video. Okay, it is, I think it was 9 minutes long. It is me teaching it. You will be okay. All right, go watch the video and go take notes, practice some more because this is hard stuff, guys. Okay, so I want you to be okay. Truly, I do.